it's Marley from the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for January 2024. So on January 27th, we have our last astro event for the month. This one is a big one. It is a little bit of a trivial one, meaning that the energy is going to be very stop and go, very high, very low. There's going to be a lot of tension, a lot of push, a lot of pull until we can stabilize. So what am I talking about? I'm talking about Uranus going direct. So we have a lot to unpack here. First of all, let's talk about Uranus himself. Uranus is the great awakener. He likes to shock us. He likes to throw curveballs at us. He likes to kind of pop out with unexpected event, really disrupt what it is that we thought we were doing, thought we were planning towards. He is the great awakener. He does throw lightning bolts of epiphanies, of aha moments at us in order for us to open up our mind. Again, we have to kind of have a shake-up, a wake-up in our physical realm where unexpected thoughts, ideas, conversations, situations, circumstances, epiphanies come into our awareness, changing the way that we are essentially looking at our lives, the way that we are looking back now, understanding why certain things had to happen to open us up, to make some spontaneous changes in our lives in order to create a different result. A different outcome, a different circumstance. So here's the thing. Uranus has been in Taurus energy for a lot of years at this point. Very uncomfortable in Taurus energy. Taurus energy is a fixed earth sign. Wants to stick to the same old, even if it's uncomfortable, even if you've been praying for a change. There is a high resistance to the changes that need to be made in order to break away from where it is that we're at to find ourselves in a place that is a lot more desirable, where it is that we desire to be. So it's been a tough go. And collectively speaking, Uranus and this Taurus energy is making a major change, major shift to agriculture, to our resources, to our money matters, that whole kit and caboodle. In our own lives, this likely is affecting us in ways that have a major impact on our own self-worth, our own self-value, how it is that we're taking care of ourselves, where it is that our relationship dynamics are making kind of major moves, if you will, good, bad, or otherwise, where our finances are kind of all over the place as well. And so we have seen Uranus be retrograde for the last approximately 5 months. Let's kind of go back, if you will. I want to take you back to May of 2023. That's when we kind of first entered into this retrograde shadow period. Uranus actually stationed retrograde August 28th at 23 degrees in Taurus energy. We backtracked through all of those particular degrees. And here on the 27th, we are going to reach the 19th degree of Taurus energy. We are going to go direct. But we are also going to be sitting in the post-retrograde shadow period until May 12th, 2024. So again, if you haven't listened to my 2024 year ahead overview where I broke it down month by month, I'm definitely going to recommend that you do that. You would know that May this year is a pretty big month. If you don't know why, again, another reason to take a listen, but Jupiter is going to be on the move, leaving Taurus energy for Gemini energy. That is another topic and theme. Just understand that these overlapping cycles have a great impact on us. Okay, so Uranus is going direct. This is not the first time that Uranus has retrograded in this Taurus energy, not the first time that it's gone direct in this Taurus energy, definitely won't be the last. This is a long-term transit. But over the last 4.5 to 5 months, the purpose of Uranus retrograde in the Taurus energy is to illuminate where it is that we're overly attached to this physical realm, to the aspects that our ego avatar has created. Now, that could mean that we're too attached to, let's say, our routines, too attached to some people in our relationship dynamics, attached to certain possessions, maybe houses, cars, whatever the case may be. And there's a real fear when contemplating losing those particular aspects and elements. The whole point of Uranus being retrograde in this Taurus energy was to show us where it is that we're holding on to a lot of fear, to releasing, letting go, surrendering a lot of the physical realm attachments that at this particular point in time, we're not even a vibratory match for. That was the old version of self and what the old version of self has created. And now that we're playing with this new version of self that just popped out, just got integrated here just a couple of weeks ago, yeah, there's a lot that's gone on. We've had a major shift in our perspective, in our understanding, a major shift in our heart space. And now this new version of self needs to get real and raw and vulnerable, which we should have done under that full moon in Leo on the 25th, real and raw and vulnerable with who and what makes us happy, what it is that we want to kind of create more of in our physical realm. And a lot of the realizations under the full moon in Leo was that we're no longer attached or in alignment or resonating with the people, places, and things that we work so hard to build, anchor in, and create in our old realities, in our old version of self. And so now Uranus is going to go direct, and especially around the point in time where Uranus shifts out of a retrograde to go direct, this is when there's major epiphanies. This is when unexpected events pop off. This is when we start seeing things from a different set of eyes. This is when we are a little bit more open to making some, I'm going to call it calculated risks. Because realistically speaking, we just came out of Capricorn season. That was a visualization process. That was planning. That was strategy. Of course, we still have Venus, the goddess of love, beauty, worth, pleasure, and money, fresh in this Capricorn energy. So she's taking a business-minded approach to her affections, to her relationships, to her heart space. She's focusing in on a different long-term goal now because of the change of heart that she has had, the change in perspective that she has had as well. And so Uranus is kind of giving us this rebellious energy, this rebellious nature, where we are more apt to kind of roll than to be dragged. Either way, change is happening. Whether we like it or not, we can go with the flow, or we can make this a lot more difficult for ourselves. The choice is up to each and every single one of us. And so there's always a little bit, I'm going to say, of anxiety, anticipation, restlessness that comes when Uranus is kind of changing directions, considering the fact that he is the lightning bolt. He affects our central nervous systems the most. He is in his rulership now that we're in Aquarius season. And so there's a lot of power here just vibrating, coursing through our physical form because, of course, the electricity of Mother Earth, the electricity of the cosmos, it's increasing. The vibrations, the frequencies are increasing. We are building towards a major change, a major shift, not only in society, not only in our individual lives, but in our consciousness. And this is what we're kind of building towards. So a lot of the times we are hooked up, attached to, too closely intertwined and connected with a lot of the aspects that we have created here in this physical realm. Again, Taurus energy. And in order for us to kind of move on, to make some progress, to make some changes, we have to abandon the fear, the doubts, the insecurities that we're holding on to, especially in relation to thinking about giving up, letting go of some of the aspects, some of the materialistic realm situations and circumstances that the old version of self has created. So this is going to be a little bit of a jittery energy, especially as we kind of get, stationed in a forward direction here. But at the same time, we are definitely more open to making some of the changes that we have been resistant in making, not because we feel any more comfortable to do so, but there is a boldness, a bravery, a courage that is now kind of being downloaded in our avatar due to the full moon in Leo that we just had. And because Uranus energy just wants us to kind of, take a risk or rebel against the old or, listen to our higher selves, our instincts, instead of holding on to the physical form and rationalizing, what it is that we should be doing, what it is that we should be holding on to type of thing. This is an awakening. This is a level up in our vibration and frequency, and it's not going to make sense for a while. But we have to be listening to that higher vibration, that higher frequency that is now calling us to break away from the old and actually get started on pursuing the new. So this is kind of like a jolt, if you will. And most of the time, jolts don't feel good, jitteriness doesn't feel good, anxiety doesn't feel good, anticipation doesn't feel good, and let's get real about it, change doesn't feel good even if it's wanted. So this is the kind of period of energy that we're moving into. It is definitely an interesting energy to sit back and observe, especially in your own life, of where this is happening. If you want to check your chart to see where the Taurus energy is at that 19th degree, that will tell you where this energy is going to manifest. Or you could listen to your January zodiac forecast, and that would be the telltale of where this is taking place and manifesting in your life. But over the next couple of weeks, we're definitely going to be seeing things from that observer mentality, seeing things from a different perspective, different set of eyes. We're moving into a higher level of consciousness and awareness, and that is going to totally change the game as we observe the life, the realm, the reality that we have created, old version of self has created, and where it is that we are no longer attached to some of those particular aspects, because the new version of self is at a much higher vibration, much higher frequency that of course has new wants, needs, and desires to fulfill.